Cowboys Nation, welcome back to Dallas Game Day. And let me tell you right now, we've got a story that could shake up everything we know about this Dallas Cowboys defense. We're talking about a potential blockbuster move, a possible trade that could bring an all-pro legend, a future Hall of Famer, right here to AT&T Stadium. Yes, I'm talking about Cameron Jordan, the New Orleans Saints defensive end with 123 career sacks, a man who has terrorized quarterbacks for over a decade, and now with the Saints sitting at 0-3 and heading into a full rebuild, his name is being floated as a potential fit for the Dallas Cowboys. Let's set the stage. The Cowboys are in transition on defense. After trading away Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers, a move that shocked the NFL, Dallas has been scrambling to find the right combination of pass rushers. They signed Jadeveon Clowney after Week 2, hoping his presence would stabilize the defensive line, bring leadership, and provide a spark. Clowney still has juice, but let's be real. He's not the same explosive force he was when he came out of South Carolina as the #1 overall pick in 2014. He's more of a rotational piece now, a guy who can help keep others fresh. And that's where the whispers about Cameron Jordan come in. Jordan is 35 years old in his 15th NFL season, and while he's no longer the absolute game wrecker he was in his prime, he's still producing. Through 3 games this season, he's got 1.5 sacks and 8 tackles, showing he can still get home and impact a quarterback. His resume speaks for itself. 229 games, 724 tackles, 123 sacks, 8 Pro Bowls, and All-Pro honors multiple times. This is the kind of player who doesn't just bring numbers, he brings experience, leadership, and presence. Imagine Jordan lining up alongside DeMarcus Lawrence, with Clowney rotating in and younger guys like Sam Williams feeding off their energy. That's the kind of front that makes quarterbacks nervous before the snap. That's the kind of presence that could help fix what Rex Ryan just ripped apart last week when he called this defense Doomsday. You want to change that narrative? You want to bring back respect to the star on defense? Adding a veteran like Jordan is exactly how you do it. Now the big question is, would Jordan even be interested in coming to Dallas? There's a lot of mutual love and respect between him and the Saints organization. He's been their anchor for over a decade, and it's not easy to walk away from that. But the Saints are rebuilding. They're 0-3, they've committed to the future, and they may be willing to part ways with veterans to stockpile draft capital. And if Jordan wants one more shot at a playoff run, one more chance to chase a ring, Dallas might be an appealing destination. Yes, there are other suitors. Reports say the San Francisco 49ers could make sense, especially after losing Nick Bosa to a torn ACL. But here's the thing, Dallas needs him more. San Francisco still has depth on defense. They're still stacked in the trenches. Dallas, on the other hand, is searching for an identity after losing Micah Parsons. Brian Schottenheimer, in his first year as head coach, is trying to build a culture of resilience and accountability, and bringing in a leader like Jordan could be the piece that accelerates that growth. Let's also not ignore the connection. Kellen Moore, the former Cowboys offensive coordinator, is now the head coach of the Saints. That relationship could open the door for dialogue between the two organizations. Jerry Jones has never been shy about making a call, testing the waters, and swinging for the fences if he thinks it helps his football team. And with over $30 million in cap space, Dallas has the flexibility to make a deal happen. Now, is Cameron Jordan the same player he was 5 years ago? No. But does he still have enough in the tank to be a difference maker, a mentor, and a stabilizing force on this Dallas defense? Absolutely. And sometimes that's what matters more than stats. Bringing in a player who commands respect, who knows how to win battles in the trenches, who raises the standard for everyone around him. Cowboys Nation, here's the bottom line. This team is 1-3. The defense has been shredded the last 2 weeks, and if Dallas wants to stay in the NFC race, changes have to be made. Signing Jadeveon Clowney was a start. Getting Darren Bland back soon will help. But bringing in a player like Cameron Jordan, that could be the move that shifts the entire tone of this defense and puts Dallas right back into the conversation as a legitimate contender. Now I've got to ask you, Cowboys fans, what do you think? Should Jerry Jones make the call and go after Cameron Jordan? Would you be willing to give up a mid-round pick for a proven veteran with 123 career sacks, even if he's in the twilight of his career? Or should Dallas trust the young guys, let Schottenheimer and his staff coach them up, and keep building for the future? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and subscribe to Dallas Game Day, because this season is just getting started, and if Jerry swings big again, the star might shine brighter than ever.